7:30 tonight. Welcome back to my kitchen, guys. And I just got antsy, and I was like, I'm completely recovered and restored from the holidays. I know it's the end of January, but I take a long time to recover from like lots of, I was gone, came home, lots of excitement. And I just take a while to bounce back after things like that. Got antsy, and I was like, you know what? I've been doing too much like new stuff that I haven't tackled what I should be tackling with respect to canning my freezer this winter. I think I mentioned to you guys that's usually what I focus on. One of my primary goals is to get my freezer cleared out for the upcoming gardening season. And I'm leaving again this weekend to go to Charleston. And I thought, what could I do that's easy and I can get it done with? And so let me share with you guys what we're going to be canning today. So if you're just starting on this super fun adventure called homesteading or self-sufficiency, being more self-reliant, capable of doing everything yourself, teaching yourself the old ways, this is something that we often took for granted beforehand, and that's saving all your scraps. I got 2-gallon freezer bags of nothing but pea pods from shelling all the peas. We're gonna put those in the pot. Lots and lots of pea pods. It's basically gonna be vegetable broth. And then, you might not think it, but we make a ton of garlic scape pestos from our garlic scapes. And I'm super lazy, and I just throw them right in the freezer whole. So I'm gonna throw probably 3 whole garlic scapes in here. The ones that we did not use for making pesto because we just made so much pesto, I'll take the flower ends off if I can. There. And let's see. Okay. What else do I have over here? What's behind the magic door? So this is just fun ways to absolutely use everything that you get out of your garden. Some old carrots, guys. These are probably from 2020. Just sitting down in the freezer. So yeah, they're a little freezer burned, but they're gonna be fine once they boil down. And then a huge bag of onion scraps. And I appreciate everyone always commenting, don't throw those away, I know. I have so many bags of these. I do not need, when I'm purposely tossing them to the compost, it's because I have a ton. So we're just gonna add one of my bags of onions. That's a whole roaster full of veggie scraps. Now I'll probably go grab some of my freeze-dried celery and throw it in here. And I'm not gonna do much for seasoning. Maybe a little bit of salt. I've got turmeric. So we'll just sprinkle in a nice helping of turmeric. And then we're gonna cover this, fill it with water to the brim. And I'm gonna cook it overnight, low and slow. And then tomorrow, probably after work, we'll can it up together. Todd's the freeze dryer guy, and I have no idea where he put the celery, but I do have some green peppers because I use those a lot in my cooking, so we just keep a bag ready handy. So I'll put not a ton because green peppers can be strong. Just put a handful in there. We're just gonna have all kinds of fun, okay? Let's throw some of our freeze-dried tomatoes in. These are some of our freeze-dried tomatoes. Aren't they pretty? Oh, so pretty. And these do have some salt on them. So again, I won't add a ton because I just don't want it too tomatoey, just enough for a nice little bit of flavor. All right, well, I don't want to get it too full that I cannot lift this up. But this is just apple cider vinegar. We're just gonna throw a nice splash in there. And I'll give you a teaser, something else I'm making. Strawberry juice from the freezer. I found that, so not in today's video, but come back and we're gonna do something I've never done homemade before. Not a canning video. All right, let's see if I can get this out. Ooh, okay. Ooh. All right. All right. Oh gosh, it's so heavy. We did it. Yay. Okay. All right. I wish I had some peppercorns. That would be great in it too. But I'm all out of whole peppercorns. I just went and looked in my pantry. And that reminds me, let me show you guys something. So I just noticed when I was going through all my inventory, I need to make more. When I was making the taco seasoning the other day, I needed to make more everything but the bagel seasoning. And I was out of white sesame seeds. So I bought a big bulk order. There's like a quart jar full that's down in my downstairs pantry, this jar for up here, and then a little spice jar of sesame seeds. And I need to do the same thing for restocking my peppercorns. So just to give you an idea of the ways I manage my pantry with respect to like spices and stuff like that. Like this little jar of turmeric, I've got a whole quart jar of turmeric downstairs and I just keep refilling this one. So I've got this on, this is my Nesco roaster. I get so many questions on this guy. Nesco 18 quarts, got it used secondhand. I have no idea how old it is. This one must be a really good one. They don't make them like they used to, right? Because it never burns. Nothing ever sticks inside of the enamel. It's just a great roaster. So I have this on 250. We'll take it up to 300, and then when I go to bed, I'll lower it to 250 to cook overnight. All right, it's after work, and I will tell you I did turn this off at lunch, and then maybe about 3 o'clock or so. So 11 o'clock, I'll say I turned it off. 3 o'clock or so, I turned it back on so it would warm up. So after work, it would be time to can it. So I'm just straining out all the bits. But guys, I had a brainstorm. What can I do with all this stuff? You guys ask me a lot, what do you do with all of the things? I have done the great idea that I got from Whippoorwill Holler to blend it. And I've done that a couple times in my broths. Just blend it in with your broth. But this time I had a brainstorm, and I talked to Todd about it last night. I was like, you think this would work? He's like, I don't see why not. So I'm going out of town this weekend. I think I'm going to leave him in charge of that next video and see how it turns out for you guys. I'm not going to give it away. Stay tuned for that. But we're going to, instead of just composting this, we're going to see if we can turn it into something yummy. So just, like I said, straining out the bits is going to take me a bit. Get all this strained out. I'll be back with you guys when it's time to can it up, and we'll see how much we got. Alrighty guys, I have my canner warming up. I'm ready to get going. Hold on, let me show you what I've got left. So this is all the veggie scraps pulled out. Now, I'm sure, like always, I'm not quite able to get every bit of them. So to compensate, I have a little sieve I'll just put over my funnel, and wait till you guys see the color of this broth. Just with scraps. Absolutely delicious. My peppercorns showed up today. I certainly wish I would have had those to add to this broth. You can use your own seasonings. I just recommend staying, oh no, I'm sitting here talking to you guys thinking I'm filling up a quart, and it is not. Stop! The dog's down here helping me clean it up. Oh, so so sad. Hold on. Oy. Okay, we're going to 1 inch of headspace. Get that out of the way so I can clean up my mess. Hang on, I'll be right back with you. Oh, so sad. Is that yummy? All right, let's get back to it. Bring you guys down here closer where you can see the color of this vegetable broth. It looks just as yummy and delicious as any chicken broth, minus the fat. So, going to 1 inch of headspace. And I think I'm going to get quite a lot from this batch. My first time making vegetable broth, I didn't make quite as much because I only used, I didn't have as much veggie scraps when I did that batch. So I don't have a lot left. Just a little splash of vinegar to the canning water. That will keep the jars from getting cloudy. You might have noticed one of my jars was cloudy because sometimes I forget to do that. I'm just wiping the rims with a little vinegar because I wasn't super clean with it. There's no oil or anything that would make this extra sticky or, you know, debris necessarily on the lids, but just clean up my mess. Make sure you get a good seal. That's really the main reason you do it. And then we're going to, I don't know that I'll be able to fit all of these jars in, but I'm certainly going to see. And I am doing pints and quarts together. I do that. I feel comfortable doing that when it's things that I don't have to worry about necessarily overcooking or siphoning too bad. So I will put my pints on the bottom and my quarts on the top, and we'll get these in the canner and we will can them for 35 minutes. But guys, that's amazing color broth for vegetable broth. Vegetable broth is usually pretty light. I think a nice balance of those onion skins with the carrots and the added tomatoes really gave it a gorgeous color. And then the turmeric, just beautiful. It tastes amazing. I did taste it. I think it does need a little salt, of course, when I go to use it. I like to rather salt when I'm cooking than when I'm canning. So I'll be back with you guys when we get these loaded up in the canner. Forgot my rings. Let me go grab them. Overflowing everywhere. Oh my gosh. Dogs are over here just licking and licking and licking it up. And I burnt my hand, poured it all over my thumb. That's it. All but one fit in. So this will just go in the fridge and we will use it for a recipe later in the next couple weeks. And I will get to canning. So let's take this opportunity to discuss venting. What does venting mean? I saw that comment quite a few times. Venting is when the steam is coming out of your pressure canner, when you can visibly see psh, and you let it do that for 10 minutes. It takes a while. My canner, I typically, once I bring it up to boil, or once I tighten down the lid and bring the heat up, usually about 10 minutes, I'll start to hear the vent, and then I'll let it vent for 10 minutes. Then you put your weight on, whether you've got the jiggler style or the weighted gauge. And when your pressure gauge comes up to 10 pounds with that weighted gauge on, then you turn down your temperature to whatever temperature your stovetop needs to hold that. My different pressure canners handle it differently, and I've had 2 different ovens and they handle it differently. You just got to learn that sweet spot. So I can't tell you what that sweet spot is. You got to practice on your own, but you'll find it. And then you hold that pressure for however long your recipe calls for.
That's a lot of pea pods.
Yep.
You think it's going to work?
Yeah.
Do you think we should do all these pea pods, or do you think we should take some of them out so it's not so much pea pod?
I don't know. Maybe like half. Maybe like a third of them, but...
That's how they turned out. Awesome. Nice and clear. And nice and dark. Rachel's gone to bed. She asked me to pull these out, and they look awesome. I started prepping. She talked about all those bits, all the scraps that was in here. I started prepping them for the next project of what we're going to do with them, so stay tuned for that. If you have any guesses on what you think we're going to do with them, leave a comment down below. And I will finish getting all these out, and we will see you guys on the next video.